Yo, what's up, everybody? Today is Monday, June 9th, 2025. Bitcoin block height 900,480. Transaction fees 1 sat per VByte. Low, medium, and high priority. Just under 2,000 unconfirmed transactions in this mempool. Bitcoin USD price 107,714 US pieces of paper. 24-hour high was 107,862. 24-hour low was 105,368. Bitcoin Spaces protocol 1.4944 total Bitcoin burned. 7,174 bids. 1,903 transfers and registers. And 2,020 rollouts. Spaces in auction. LY. Sphere. Body. Hola. Yo, Gorilla, Match, Tiger, Union. All can be claimed, but still open for bidding. Recent Spaces actions, a transfer on Camille. And we had our rollouts. Click, Custom, California, MC. Florida, Coffee, AT, Pay Now, Peach, IV. I saw a lot of C's. Look at this. Coffee, Click, Custom, California. Somebody's posting some C's now. Upcoming rollouts, Texas, Bill, Chrono, Horcrux, Girl, Host, Haplo, Mom. Line, build. Spaces.market latest listings. XM, WS, Bell, DN, Viper, Fuse, Pyro, ZL, Josh. So if you don't know, I guess I should just explain this here. So the Spaces Protocol, explore.spacesprotocol.org. This is where you can roll out new names. You can bid on names. This is the auction where you bid on names. So explore.spacesprotocol.org. And then spaces.market. This is the marketplace. This is where you can directly buy spaces. So you can buy Bitcoin spaces here. There's no auction here. There's no bidding here. This is where you just buy them out. You can see they're a little more pricey on spaces.market. People are asking for more Satoshis, more Bitcoin here, because these ones you just buy straight out. The ones on the Explorer, this is like the auction house. This is where you create them. You open them up. They might not even exist yet. Or if they do exist, they're in auction. So like this one right here, YO. Yo! Someone opened it up on May 25th, you could see, for 1,000 Satoshis. It rolled out 3 days later. So it has to be the highest bid or one of the highest bids out of 10. Only 10 spaces roll out every day. So when this opened up May 25th, it could have rolled out, but there was some spaces ahead of it. So it took 3 days. It rolled out on the 28th. Then after that, it takes 10 days. It's in pre-auction here. Okay, here you go. So pre-auction, top 10 highest bid spaces advance to auctions daily. And then it's in the auction. It takes 10 days. People can bid on it. And as you can see, June 7th, June 7th, June 7th. Damn, June 7th. Damn. So June 7th, people were bidding on Yo. 1, 2, 3, 4 bids on the same day. That's crazy. It went from 1,000 Satoshis, 2,000, 2,001 Satoshis, 3,000 Satoshis, then all the way up to 10,000 Satoshis. And then after 24 hours, each bid kicks it out 24 hours. So you can't snipe. You can't bid snipe here. Once you bid, it kicks it out 24 hours. So after 24 hours, it can be claimed. So right now, this is a waiting claim. Yow! But it can still be bid, so you could still bid on it. It's been sitting here for 12 hours. So 10,000 Satoshis. You can see that. And then we got some other ones here that haven't even had bids. So they rolled out. Nobody bid on them. Yo has 5 bids. Ola has 2. Sphere has 3. Some of these just 1 bid, so people aren't bidding on them. But that kicks it out 24 hours. And then spaces.market, this is just where you can just buy it up. So this is 1, 2, 3, 8. So this is 700,000 Satoshis. So you can see the difference. So 700,000 Satoshis for Hyper compared to 10,000 Satoshis in the bidding process. The only thing is when you bid, someone can come over the top and bid. In spaces.market, you could just buy these outright. Nobody's bidding on these at all. There is something they were going to do. I want them to do this. I don't know. I'm going to have to say something about this again on the next Bitcoin Spaces in the Twitter Spaces. Is offers, right? I would like to do some offers maybe. I think somebody else mentioned that too, where you could just offer up. So let's say somebody's offering this Pyro up for 900,000 Satoshis. Well, what if I want to offer you 50,000 Satoshis? You know, can I do that? Can I offer something like that? Or even if they put it here. I'm not sure if they can put it here. So what was that one? Hyper. So you can see Hyper rolled out. It was bid, it rolled out, and it transferred. Only 1 bid, 3 total events. They tell you the claim height, when it expires. You can look at the transaction ID. So you could just copy this, and you could throw it in here too. You can throw it into any Bitcoin block explorer. So you can see it was 5 sats per VByte. Was the fee rate, how many Satoshis, so 1,276 sats they spent. You can see the input wallets, output wallets. So you can see all this stuff here. But they were talking about putting something on this where if you go to a name, and it is listed on spaces.market. Oh, we're looking at Pyro. Where's Hyper? I thought I saw Hyper. I'm pretty damn sure I have seen Hyper out here. Hyper? Yeah, okay, yeah. So here, Hyper. 700,000 Satoshis. So if it's registered and for sale, the Explorer, hopefully this can be done, is going to be listed. It's going to have a link to spaces.market, or there'll be a little box somewhere. I don't know. Make it look cool, hopefully, where you could see, oh, this is for sale. You know, currently it's for sale on the marketplace. That would be sick. That would be awesome. The Akron wallet rolled out, so it is a little easier, slightly easier to get in here and bid on these names. But still hard, still hard. I was trying to help a buddy out with a Linux. He just installed Linux, didn't have anything else, just put Linux Ubuntu on his machine. He wanted to download the Akron wallet. We tried to build it from source and just running into problems. You know, there's like prerequisites you need. I don't know. Rust up, Cargo, Curl. Like, are those apps, are those things that you need? I don't even know what they are, but I'm trying to figure it out. It seems like those are prerequisites. Then I tried to install Rust, which I did install Rust, and then it's like, oh, you can't do this feature function, you can't install this way. You know, I don't know. Linux is tough for me for some reason. I guess I'm just brain rot, used to just double clicking exe files, which is dangerous, right? You double click an exe, it just runs. You don't even know what the hell it is. That's how Windows gets all these viruses and stuff. I guess Linux is just better that way, but it's tougher. It's a lot harder. So you run, but maybe, I guess I don't even know actually. So, because you're just copying a line of code and slapping it into the command line interface in Linux and running it anyway. So you might not even know what it does. I certainly don't. So I try to do something and it's like, oh no, you need Rust up to do that or something. I was like, okay, let me get this Rust up. And then I tried to get Rust up. I was like, oh nah, you already got Rust. It's like, what? I need to do this, but couldn't figure it out. So they're going to come out with the Acron wallet for Windows. And I'm pretty dang sure Windows is the most popular operating system. Without a doubt, Windows is the most popular. So that should see more people in here with the Acron wallet, Windows. And then on this Explorer, where we are right now, this will show if a space is for sale on spaces.market. It'll have a link. It'll have a little box here, something like that, where people can go and buy it outright. That will be cool. And something else that would be cool too, I was thinking. So these are capped at 3,600. If you go to, 3,600 per year, these primary spaces. So these Bitcoin spaces. So that the primary space, top level space, would be at Bitcoin. And then you could have anything in front of it. Alice, Bob, Jim, 1, 21 at Bitcoin. You know, whatever you want. You have it all. You own it all. Once you own a top level space at Bitcoin, any top level space, you own all the subspaces that could possibly be in front of it. Every character, every potential combination, you own it. Not only that, you can create them all. You can list them all for sale. You can give them away. You can create a website and just have people can have usernames at your website at Bitcoin. You can give them away for free. And there are Bitcoin addresses that you can send Bitcoin to these human readable names. There are Nostr names. So npubs, they resolve to these human readable names. So it's just crazy. You could do all these, anything, peer-to-peer applications. So I was just thinking, I wanted to make another video too. Like, you know how Craig Wright came out and he was like, I'm Satoshi. And people were like, hell no, you ain't Satoshi. And he was like, yeah, I am, bro. And he went through all this nonsense, court systems and all this to try to prove that he was Satoshi, right? He was trying to persuade people that he was Satoshi. And everybody was just like, yo, just sign a transaction using one of Satoshi's keys, right? There's a bunch of known Satoshi addresses. Just sign something. Sign something. We don't even care about all this song and dance you're putting out there in the public. Just sign a transaction with one of Satoshi's keys, and all doubt will be gone. But of course he couldn't do that. Of course he couldn't do that because he's not Satoshi. Obviously. And Satoshi, Satoshi wouldn't go through. It's just thinking from a logical perspective. Satoshi wouldn't go through all this stuff to hide his identity and remain anonymous, then come out publicly and beg for people to believe that he's Satoshi, man. Come on. Satoshi would just sign with one of his keys anyway. Just simple, right? He would do it from the back. And who knows, if he even is alive, he might send some sort of message through OpReturn or something on the Bitcoin blockchain with one of those addresses, with one of those keys. But the point is, with Spaces Protocol, it adds a human readable name to your Bitcoin wallet address, to your Nostr npub, these long strings of characters, letters and numbers. So if you're like, who is the real Satoshi? Who is the real dollar bill? Who is the real, bearing, whatever, any word you can think of. These are our social identifiers, like Curious Bitcoin. I just create this name and I'm like, oh, I'm Curious Bitcoin. That's me. And I'm just online, right? Well, what if another guy creates Curious Bitcoin on IG or Facebook or whatever? Like, who's the Curious Bitcoin, right? Spaces Protocol, Bitcoin, the Bitcoin blockchain solves that because you are you. You sign it. That's it. Final, the end. The Bitcoin blockchain is truth. We don't need to have lawyers. We don't need to have second guessing. We don't need to have this social engineering where we try to believe people and we try to persuade people. If you are who you say you are on Bitcoin, if you can verify proof of work, identity then that's you. There ain't nothing else about it. You know, this is the proof right here, the Bitcoin blockchain. Bitcoin is proof. Okay, Bitcoin is truth, right? People call it the time chain. You can't edit the chain of the past, right? It's the proof of work blockchain, dude. So you want to edit something in the past, you got to edit everything else in front of it, which is increasingly harder and harder. So people will begin and continue to trust the Bitcoin blockchain more and more. They will continue to look at the Bitcoin blockchain for truth more and more. And they will say, is that really true? Let me look at my node and see if this was verified or signed on this date. Let me look up this transaction. You know, people will do that more and more as Bitcoin becomes more and more popular. So with identities, of course you're going to want your identity on Bitcoin. You're not going to want it on what? Some central PlayStation Network server? Some Xbox server? Your medical records on your medical, you know, you're not going to want to trust anyone else's server or social credit system with your identity. I'm not going to want, hey, that's me, bro. Okay, post a message on Twitter, you know, a centralized platform. No one's going to want to do that. They're just going to say, yo, sign this message with your Bitcoin identity. And instead of having this long string BC1Q, whatever address, or this long Nostr npub, you're just going to have a simple Bitcoin space, human readable name, unique to you. And that's it. It's awesome, dude. Pretty damn cool. All right, that's going to be it for this one. Thank y'all for watching.